Howdy peeps, hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I was going to respond to a couple of comments and just a couple of things, an observation I've noticed with the channel. I think I'll start off with some of the comments, and even though I've responded already, I figured it was, well, probably worth just sort of bringing to the attention of, I suppose. First of all, Victor Santos, more people here than you think. Keep it up. And as per my response, doesn't seem that way from where I'm looking at it. I'm just saying. Because it does. I mean, the video now has only had, what, 31 views? So, well, maybe they're just YouTube hits. I don't know what exterior sources it gets viewed on, if any. So, yeah, from me, I just see the count on YouTube, and I guess that's what I go by. Next one is Anna Medina. This is Gandalf spitting truth. It's what the world needs to hear. I'm a bloke using an alternative account, so don't respond as if I was a girl. And as per my response, Gandalf, I'm a Sith Lord. How dare you? Yeah, you cheeky bastard, you. Oscar Patron also responded to Anna Medina. I agree. The man knows what he's doing. Oh, that's debatable. As to whether I know what I'm doing or not, I don't. You know what, I won't lie. I'm so back and forth with these topics sometimes. Because they are open to so much subjectivity. Billy Elza, who knows? Excellent video. Thank you very much, sir. And finally, glad I am MGTOW, sound is low. Thanks, but there's not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately, at this stage. I think it is a technological issue. That being, I'm using a very old phone for doing recording the videos on and uploading as well. I've got a little trick up my sleeve. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'll certainly give it a go and see what happens. It might improve things, maybe not. Now, the actual topic that I wanted to talk about in this video, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but it seems to me that whenever I mention men being weak, as in what I first said in the video, you know, weak men, and simps, I tend to lose a couple of subscribers. And look, it might be down to a lot of things. It might be coincidence, might be. It might be the YouTube itself unsubscribing people. Or maybe people don't like being told the truth. You know. And I've often wondered, you know, because I've covered such an array of topics over the years, from personality disorders to reasons as to why men go their own way, and the whole red pill and why it's a thing. And I'm going to start off talking about weak men, and in particular, if that is the case, right, where people have unsubscribed because they have taken offence that I've referred to them as being weak, or they assume I have referred to them as being weak. Well, for starters, they will continue to be weak if they can't if they can't take a bit of criticism about who they are, or not who they are, but their mannerisms, how they what's the word I'm looking for? How they conduct themselves, you know. A lot of guys, and look, I'll say it how it is. My honest opinion, I think that simps are in fact weak men. In particular, when you sort of think about it, the transaction that they're after, you know, like I was saying in the video, they'll go onto their Patreon or Instagram or what's the other one, OnlyFans and stuff like that, and they're happy to give dollar after dollar, or maybe it's more than $1, you know, who knows, for the sake of what? You're actually getting nothing out of it. Like, you're not even getting to spend any quality time with another person in real life, but you're willing to part with your money for it, and that is just, you know, I can't comprehend it. I don't see the point. And what I was saying in the other video, it's like, when you go out with your friends, you know, there's a couple of my friends that I'll hang out and spend time with, and I'm more than happy to, you know, if we were to go to KFC or somewhere like that, or even if we went to a posh restaurant like an Indian restaurant or something like that, curry house. You know, if I've invited them out, I'll pay for I'll pay for it, because that's the whole point of inviting them. You know, and look, to make this clear, regardless of whether they are male or female. Now, with that, when I take my female friends out, and if that was a situation, for example, we went to a curry house, I'm not exactly going to be expecting anything in return from them. You know, unless it was, you know, specifically a date, and I'll, you know, made it clear that that's what it was, and you made clear of your intentions, or in that case, metaphorically, my intentions. Yeah, and would I expect a transaction? Well, not really. Not if they're my friend anyway, you know. But like I was saying in the video, if you're actually dating someone and you take them out to a restaurant, a nice restaurant, and you've both agreed on the date, you know, you're actually willing to get to know each other as people, and you know, your intention is to see where this date will lead, whether you can have a future together or not. Not that really reveals a lot, in my opinion. You know, you're going out for a meal, yeah, you can have a chat, you can have a laugh. That's the whole idea of dating, of course, whilst constantly putting your best foot forward, so as you don't put them off of you. Now, sure, there are plenty of guys out there that don't know how to conduct themselves in a date anyway. And look, the only suggestion I can really give is go look at dating coaches if that's what you want to, if that's your aim. Because I think one thing that people don't really realise, the difference between being red-pilled and going your own way. Going your own way is when you finally hit that point of no return and you have no intention of dating, you have no intention of finding a long-term partner. Now, with that, a lot of guys go through what we refer to as a red pill rage, right? Whereas they're angry at the world because a relationship didn't work out, or they can't find anyone. Look, I'll be honest, lots of guys can't find someone, right? Lots of women can't find someone as well. And I don't necessarily mean in terms of a heterosexual relationship. I'm talking about those that aren't straight and so on. They have similar issues, you know, which does unfortunately kind of point out that this is does seem to be in many cases more of a female problem than even I suppose the LGBT community would like to admit. But even when you say LGBT community, you can't. This is a problem with communities and badges and identification, or identification with being part of, you know, a group, be it whatever, not just LGBTQ plus whatever. The same goes for MGTOW. All of that is, once one individual in that group fucks up, the whole group gets taken down. You know, now by that I mean not literally in that sense, but that dark shadow will be cast over the whole group. You know, this is why MGTOW is supposedly seen as a hate group by the SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Centre, out in the US. That is why, because there's been a couple of instances where people have lost their shit and they've decided to identify as being going their own way or being red pill community, whatever, and their actions fucks it up for the rest of them. And that's the way that it is. Now, when it comes down to, and this is just a sad fact of life, and again, I would argue because it's all more to do with girl power advocacy and so on, whereas they don't, you know, that thing of no accountability for women, they're not held to the same standard. So if, say, someone from the LGBT community went out and did something really heinous to anyone, regardless of their orientation, it would usually get covered up, or not covered up, but it would be sort of brushed to the side and not really made a thing of, and oh, it's a one-off incident. It's like, well, what would be the difference between that and, say, someone from the manosphere doing it? Not a lot. It's true, though, it's not a lot. And again, that one individual does not represent the whole damn group. But, you know, again, it's that how we are held to our men, I'm talking about, are held to a higher standard than women. But anyway, that's kind of moved off topic quite a bit, which I suppose happens when you're talking about these things. But the point is the problem isn't just men trying to find decent female partners that they can have a long-term relationship with. Women are having the same problem on the other side, as it were. So, and look, let's not bullshit each other about this. The problem is on both sides, you know. We've got guys out there who don't know how to conduct themselves. They get offended the minute they get called weak or referred to as being a simp. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You are, and you know it. And don't even fucking deny it. You know, it is what it is, right? It's down to you to, if you're the one sort of like, or the type that would take offence to that, instead of taking offence to it, why don't you listen and then do something about your actions, and realising that throwing money towards some chick on the internet isn't actually going to solve your problem, or it's not even going to make you feel a bit better. All it's going to do really in the long run is drain your bank account, and you're only doing yourself over. But, you know, some guys seem to think that that's the way forward and that is what's going to work for them. Well, good luck to you. I would say I wish you the best, but what would be the point in that? You know, you're not going to get what you want. You know, to the point where a lot of women even offer services as online girlfriends, where they walk around the house cooking and doing all this. It's like, yeah, but you're not in someone's life, love, are you? You know, that's the difference. And again, it's monetary. It's all to do with them making money. And there's so many guys out there that are so, well, weak and simpish that is what they do, and they seem to think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay for them. And it's like, no, it's not going to solve your problems. It really isn't. What is going to solve your problems is working on yourself, and then making that if you make that final decision of going your own way, which a lot of guys do, but like I say, a lot of the time it's just down to a bit of red pill rage. They've got they've broken up, maybe their girlfriend cheated on them, whatever the case may be, they weren't happy with the outcome. And it's that anger and frustration at the world, and also probably subconsciously at themselves, because they know, in some cases, that they have let themselves down. They stop putting their best foot forward. Now, I'm not taking out the equation that women don't misbehave. Of course they do, right? Hypergamy is a thing, right? And that is something that you also have to bear in mind. You know, hypergamy. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I'm not going to sit here and go through this video, but yeah, it's a thing, and it's a thing that you need to know about. And, you know, I think, like I said, realistically speaking, a lot of guys that claim to be going their own way, and it goes for myself as well. You know, I'm not even going to bullshit you guys about it. I'd like to think that I want to live the rest of my life in peace and on my own and everything else. And yeah, it is kind of preferable to being in a toxic relationship or being with someone that really doesn't give a shit about you. Of course it is. You know, especially when that relationship comes to an end and then you face the bitter truth. It is better than that, but at the same time, it doesn't take away the good times you can actually have with someone that does actually appreciate the stuff that you do for them, you know, and perhaps, maybe even if it's a possibility, maybe even actually love you. But like I say, men and women love differently, I think in a lot of cases. And like I said previously, like, with some women at least, it seems that love does have an expiration date for any given relationship. But anyway, that's all I've got for this one. Thoughts, comments and opinions, feel free to jump down to the next one. Stay cool, stay free, and peace out.